Coach, do you know anything about Carl Pelini?
No.
Will be the next coach.
Has he said so?
He will be.
Okay. I'm sure he's a fine coach. I'm being very straightforward with you. I'm sure he's a fine coach. And as I told my former squad in the locker room tonight, I, as well as Beverly, and I hope all of them will rally behind the new coach. Too much is at stake. We've come so far that it's important that a new momentum is generated, and that it will take our program on a meteorical rise to the next level. The stadium will act as the jet fuel to launch it, and there's no telling how high it can reach and how fast.
Coach, when you were at Miami, it was an established program. You built a program, win a national championship. You go to Louisville, you resurrect their program. Here was a different situation where you basically started from scratch.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a sense of accomplishment in building something, what you did. You promised you build a program. You promised you build a stadium we're sitting in. You did it. I mean, obviously, looking at that, there has to be a sense of accomplishment for you.
Oh, truly, it is in the same category as the University of Miami project and the University of Louisville project. Going back to old Paulie Miller at my high school, it's equal to that. Him bringing that high school from. There was none on the river. They built it. And in 5 years, he wins a state championship. And that was my first encounter with somebody doing something very special. But yes, it's very close. The difference is, and take this from the right way, being asked to go down to Miami from the Miami Dolphins with the experience with Coach Bryant and his championships, George Allen and his conference division championships, you could almost feature it as a new sheriff in town, or that's what, a new guy to come to right the wrongs and get it straightened out in the same way at Louisville. But this is not that way. There was nothing. The creation hadn't taken place yet, and creation has a parallel in human life. We fall in love. We will have intercourse. We have conception and birth. We have baptism and confirmation, bar mitzvahs. We have young adulthood. We have maturity. And one day we have warriors. And a father takes great pride in those developments, in that growth. And it's a lot more family. It feels much more like a family than what we have had in Miami and Louisville. Don't diminish the Miami and the Louisville thing, because I have to claim some victory there.
When you're able to get those two bowl wins back to back, obviously the New Orleans Bowl and the Motor City Bowl, do you feel at that particular point that's when you really were able to put this program really on the map?
Well, sure. That without us, but it was a lot sooner than that. We got beat by Slippery Rock in the opening ball game, and that was because we had 13 players that were not certified. We had one compliance officer, and he didn't have enough ability to get all my 100 new athletes, football players, certified. So we go down there with 13 of our starters, unable to play, and we get beat by Slippery Rock in front of 26,000 people in the Pro Player Stadium. The next week, we go up and play Bethune-Cookman, Division I AA. We're not even Division I AA. I don't know what we were. We won the NAIA or anything like that, but we weren't. We were second year of our existence, and we beat those guys. Sure, it was luck. They were ahead, and they were going in for a score, but they fumbled it, and then we picked it up and ran it for a touchdown and beat the 22nd rated team in America. Later on, next year, I guess, or 2 years later, we beat Middle Tennessee, Division I AA team, Division I team, and that was a record. And then to get be asked to be in the playoffs for Division I AA, you know, they have a 16-game playoff, and they've got the same thing. The conference champions are dominant in that, but we had an at-large berth. And lo and behold, we win 2 games, and before we got beat at home by by Colgate, but we ended up ranked 4th in the nation in the 3rd year of our existence. And then right after that came the Sun Belt Conference and the conference championship and the 2 bowl games. I'm so glad that we won 2 bowl games, because I didn't realize, I guess I wasn't leading in that thing with 4 wins and no losses, because nobody ever told me about it. And then suddenly we win a game, and I'm at the top of the heap, and people that have won bowl, best record in bowl. And then the next one came along, and damn, all of a sudden I'm 6 wins and no losses, and others are dropping out. So all those things are. But anyway, it's been a joy, and what I said to the crowd out there tonight for Beverly and I has been a thrill for us, and I thank everybody that has been a part of it. And there's been a lot of people that haven't gotten credit for what has happened here. And I want to thank Palm Beach County and Boca Raton, because they finally have really latched onto this, and this has become a big event, the stadium and the things that are going to be in here. I even hear whispering down at City Hall that it wouldn't be all bad if this would be considered a college town. Wow, we come a long way.
Coach, is there one game you remember from being here at FAU?
There's more than one.
Stand out?
Yeah, the one we beat Troy in the game that gave us a record equal to them, but by us beating them gave us a straight-up championship, which enabled us to play Memphis State and beat them 44-22, which was a high point, that combination. And that's when our fans started taking notice.
Before you go, just if any of the photographers want to